Hey everyone, if you're watching this video, this is part 3 of our year in review episode of Movie Time. In this particular video, we are talking about our most anticipated movies for 2023. What are some of the most anticipated movies, and what are your most anticipated movies? Let us know in the comments. If you want to hear the whole episode in its entirety, you could check it out on the Low-Key Geek podcast channel. Just go type in Low-Key Geek on your podcast platform of choice, where you can download the whole episode. For parts 1 and 2, just check them out on here, the Low-Key Geek channel here on YouTube. Part 1, we talk about the worst and most disappointing movies of 2022. And in part 2, we talk about the best films of 2022, where Blake and I go back and forth with our own personal top 10 list. So check them out and make sure to leave your comments in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts and feelings about our lists. And of course, we want to hear what are some of your choices. With that being said, enjoy the episode. And I think we should close out this episode by discussing some of those that we're eagerly anticipating for 2023. So, Blake, I'll throw it to you. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to next year?
Oh yeah, Renee, movie season does not end.
Yeah.
We are just a couple days away from New Year as we record this, and we are gonna just keep doing this because I
Oh, yeah.
love the movies. I love talking to you. I love doing this with you.
The
Thank you for
movies.
sharing your absolutely objectively incorrect top 10 list with me. But this is fun. So 2023, I went through a list of what's supposed to come out earlier
Mhm.
this year. We did our second half of 2022 predictions, and Killers of the Flower Moon was there. Killers of the Flower Moon is a movie I've been looking forward to for such a long time. We don't have an official release date for it anymore. It just kind of keeps getting put on and pulled and yanked around. So that's the new Martin Scorsese, Jesse Plemons, Leonardo
Yeah.
DiCaprio movie. It will be at least partially set in my home state of Oklahoma. I'm very excited for that. It could be just a historically uh, great movie.
Why do you
Um,
think this movie is getting pushed around so much?
I honestly don't know. There's some question around. I, there's some question around like, do you put it in right before awards season or right after?
Mhm.
I don't know if that's the only question for this one.
Mhm.
I believe that this one was delayed from COVID stuff. And I also think if you're Martin Scorsese, how many more great big movies do you have left in you? You might want to
Yeah.
take your time with it and just make sure everything's exactly right. And then the studio might want to make sure it's exactly right for when we release it on the
Mhm.
calendar. And there's certain times where they'll just not want to, especially with the box office this last year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be shocked if they're just being conservative with we want to give it as much time as possible. But if you notice, like when Avatar 2 came out, there were no other movies released at that point
Yeah.
except,
Mhm.
yeah, it's movies that they were trying to kind of like hide under the
Yeah,
Avatar
yeah,
box
yeah.
office numbers. That kind of thing happens. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of politicking or gamesmanship going on there. I don't know. Or maybe it's not fully done yet. But either
Mhm.
way, it's one of those I trust Martin Scorsese to put out the best possible product. And can't wait for this one. Hopefully, I'm not overhyping it, but either way, those I've waited long enough to see this one. I'm excited to
Sure.
see it regardless.
The interesting
Oppenheimer,
yeah,
yeah,
before
no,
yeah,
please.
the another, just to close that out, another interesting thing about this movie too, Scorsese did The Irishman for Netflix. I believe this movie is an Apple movie, right? So it's
Mhm.
interesting how it's jumping platforms and alliances there. I wonder if that has anything to do with it as well, or maybe agreeing with Apple as to when to properly release it or something like that.
Yeah, they're saying that it's awards stuff is like the
Mhm.
main reason, but regardless, yeah, that the Apple of it all is interesting. I really
Yeah.
hope we get plenty of theater run for this movie, which my
Sure.
understanding is it'll be both her. That was part of the deal Scorsese struck, but
Yeah.
right now things are kind of up in the air. So that's the main one that I've been looking forward to. The other main one's Oppenheimer, new Nolan. Can't tell you how excited I am about that
Oh, yeah.
one.
Mhm.
As a side fan of nuclear history, that one should be crazy. I'm hoping if it even gets close to the level of Dunkirk, I'm hyped for that. Dune Part 2.
Hell
I'm just
yeah.
gonna go through and read the rest of these, but
Yeah.
feel free to harp on any of them if you want. Dune Part 2, Wonka, Chalamet is Wonka,
Mm.
Barbie, Greta Gerwig, directing a Barbie movie, Asteroid City, Wes Anderson movie, the new Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah, Spider-Man
Creed
Across the
3.
Spider-Verse. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. That is the official name, nerd. Um, Creed 3 with Jonathan Majors, hyped for that. John Wick 4. John Wick 3 was a disappointment for me. I'm curious how much if it goes back to what I loved about the old ones. We'll see.
Mhm.
But that franchise is so beloved by everybody.
Yeah.
The other two main ones are Disappointment Boulevard, um, Mission Impossible. With it's weird. It's a Tom Cruise airplane movie. I think people like those two things.
Oh, yeah. That might be
Um,
successful.
Maestro. There's a couple more on here. Maestro, the Bradley Cooper, Leonard Bernstein biopic. I think that's made for me. I think that might be my favorite movie of all time when it comes out. I
Mhm.
might like rent the Bernstein uh, biography from the library and not read it afterward. I'll just be so geeked off that movie. We'll see. Other ones that I'm curious about but not sure what to expect and kind of worried about are Napoleon, Super Mario, Little Mermaid, Fast 10 or Fast X. The Flash movie is supposed to come out, and
Mhm.
there's also doing a Hunger Games side
The
movie.
prequel, yeah.
So yeah, I'm really curious about some of those, but there are some that I'm just properly hyped for. So we'll see.
Nice, nice.
There'll be a lot to
Yeah.
talk about for sure.
Oh yeah, 2023 is not going to be lack of stuff to talk about because it looks like there's a ton of stuff coming out. I am looking forward to a lot of those movies you mentioned. Some of the movies that you didn't mention that I am personally looking forward to, especially earlier in the year, is Cocaine Bear. I have a feeling
Yeah.
Cocaine Bear
Oh
is going to
no.
surprise a lot of people. I have a huge feeling, especially it's since it is based off of a true story. This might be one of those movies where they just stretch and bend the truth a little bit,
A little
which
bit.
I love. Which I love movies like that. You know, when they kind of do a little absurdity to it. So that could be a surprise hit for sure. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This officially starts the new phase of Marvel. So I'm really curious now that we're done with Phase 4 and all the stuff that we got. This is supposedly moving into now the next event that they're planning to do. So Quantum Mania, I heard, is supposed to
That's
be a huge start into it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah,
that was the ones I meant to mention was Guardians, Ant-Man, and then what's the Marvel sequel? Isn't there a
it's called The Marvels. Yeah, The Marvels.
Marvels? And
Yeah.
is that a Disney Plus show or that's a movie, right?
No, those are
That's a
all
movie.
three of those are
Okay.
movies. Yeah. Hmm.
So that's hard to keep my ducks in a row with all the MCU moving parts, but
Yeah.
we've had this ongoing conversation of what's in the future of the MCU.
Hmm.
Is it getting worse? It seems the quality has clearly been getting worse film to film, and the reviews are getting worse film to film, with a couple exceptions thrown in. This
Yeah.
will be the year, in my opinion, especially when you're laying out Quantum Mania like that.
Yeah.
This might be the year where we say the biggest tentpole of the last 15 years at that point. The bottom is falling out. Holy shit, everyone. Just sell all your stock that's been in movie theaters. Tom Cruise can only make so many movies, you guys.
Yeah.
James
Hmm.
Cameron is waiting 13 years between projects. They're no longer rolling out 3, 4, and 5 of Avatar the way they were. So, like, we're gonna have a rough. We're gonna all have to tighten our belts quite a bit with
Yeah.
our film loadings. That would be tragic, but also I'm currently predicting that, and I really hope it doesn't come true. And I don't necessarily even think it will. It's just been trending so poorly, and if this is the moment of truth, this is where it's been
Hmm.
going, and now we're gonna start to lay out the pieces that'll get you excited for the next couple phases. This could be the most interesting year that we've had in cinema in a while because the ongoing
Yeah.
are superhero movies film and do they deserve to get awards and they make so much money. They're taking our actors and like just whatever that conversation has been, and it being so much of the oxygen talking about movies, and at
Hmm.
the same time, them being the ongoing saviors, not only of the universe, but of our movie theaters.
Yeah.
Things could get really dicey or interesting in the next year. So I've got my eye on you, Marvel. Please
Yeah.
save the day, just like you would want to.
Yeah. No, for sure. I believe I read an article that says, and I think they interviewed like the head of AMC. other people Cinemark and Regal and all that. And they're expecting that obviously this year was not great for movies, not like
Mm.
previous years. Definitely a lot better than maybe last year, but nowhere near where are we in like pre-pandemic numbers and all that. They're expecting moving into 2023 and possibly 2024 could also still be operating at losses across the board. They're
Mm.
expecting that things will probably more than likely turn around come 2025. That's kind of what their expectations are. Now, if studios like Disney and Warner Brothers and all that can put out promising hits, then maybe they don't have to worry about such a long term, loss waiting until 2025. Hopefully they could kind of compensate along the way for some of the major releases. So yeah, Marvel with their Ant-Man, Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy, which is kind of promised to be a very emotional movie. I have a feeling we're going to be
Interesting.
seeing some deaths in there that maybe we're not expecting. Marvel's is going to be teaming up with some people that we haven't seen on screen for a while together. So this could definitely be, phase 4 was like a transition. Now we could be into the start of something huge, right? Moving forward. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how these movies, perform and how they really gel with audiences. So that's why I think I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how that's going to play out. Like you, also, I'm very interested to see how the Super Mario Brothers movie is going to perform because I think a lot of people have been dying for a Mario movie. That's non-live action and doesn't star John Leguizamo. So I think this time around we're going to get a proper movie, even though Chris Pratt's a version of Mario's voice may still be questionable for a lot of people. I know there's a lot of debate behind it, but there's also a lot of people who are defending it. So we shall see what happens. The Little Mermaid will be interesting to see because again, oh, go ahead.
Make a promise with me right now that we dress up as Mario and Luigi, or Mario and Wario, whatever, and or I would really be interested in placing a bet on how well that movie does, and if we lose, that's what we have to, something like that. We
Oh,
can
that
make
would
an
be great.
official
Yeah.
cosplay low-key geek situation. Can't
Let
wait.
let's yeah, we should definitely have some like stakes like that. Like
Oh yeah,
we should do it like a month before the movie comes out and
oh
kind of
yeah.
like do it on video or on the air, whatever the case is, and we'll put it out there because that would be a lot of fun. That'll be a lot of fun for
Okay, we
sure.
have to do the whole episode in the full costume also.
Yeah.
Just one of us in there like an idiot.
Oh
That
hell yeah.
sounds fun.
Oh, that'll be
Okay.
great. Yeah. But yeah, Little Mermaid. A lot of people with the controversy of the selection of actress and all that. I think she's gonna be phenomenal. I'm very much looking forward to that movie. But oh, and The Flash. I'm so looking forward to The Flash because of all the drama happening with DC and Warner Brothers right now. How they are slowly getting rid of the old guard. Cavill no longer being Superman. Aquaman, questionable. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, questionable.
Mm.
They already cut scenes of that was filmed of Cavill and Ben Affleck from the upcoming Shazam movie. And it sounds like they may be cutting some of the scenes out from the Flash movie. So, how this
Wow.
movie is going to play along the spectrum of the DC universe, I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. Plus, obviously, all the controversy behind Ezra Miller and how he's been conveniently very quiet in the news lately because I'm pretty
The
sure.
word is tranquilized.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
tranquilized.
sure the
Yeah,
studio is just like, no, just stay in that
yeah,
room. Go,
y-
we'll throw you some food later, buddy.
exactly.
Just
Yeah,
don't
like
fuck up this movie right
yeah,
before it comes out.
just yeah. Let us get through
Golly.
this challenging time and let us release this movie and then do whatever the hell you want. Because I'm pretty sure he's not going to be reprising that role after this movie comes out for sure. But like you, I'm also I mean, you can't ignore a Nolan movie when it comes out.
Mhm.
This guy, he's all about the cinematic experience. what I've been seeing of Oppenheimer so far from the trailers we've gotten, it looks like it's going to be one of those like really phenomenal type of movies. Plus the fact that they're using practical effects for the explosion for the nuclear tests that they're doing and not using CG. I'm like, is this guy going to the desert of like Arizona and blowing up real nuclear warheads at a distance?
When are Tom Cruise and Christopher Nolan going to work together where like Tom
Yes.
Cruise has to outrun an actual nuclear missile
Yes,
and the Tom
please.
Cruise death wish will finally come true?
Oh my goodness, that would be epic. That would be like the best thing ever. But like I've done before, I am going to predict there are two movies that are going to be the most anticipated movies that are going to possibly surprise a lot of people this year. Last time I did it, I said it was Top Gun Maverick, and I was right because I like reminding you about that all the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This year, there are two that I think are going to do the same thing. One is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Nope. Calling it right now. Put it on the record. When it does well, play this clip of me saying absolutely not. Because I hope it does. There's no way.
Dude, okay. I love this franchise. I was so disappointed with, obviously, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That was a piece of shit. Indiana Jones fans, we tend to ignore that movie as a whole. It doesn't exist. This movie could bring things back to where it's supposed to be. You have Spielberg, who's not directing it this time, which could be a blessing. And the fact that you have James Mangold helming it. The guy, same guy who's done Logan. And we all know how well that movie did. This could really turn the franchise around. Or
Reach into Yuma, Walk the Line.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, also the Wolverine. But no, seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I should be less skeptical. Interesting.
It could turn this whole franchise around, but at the same time, it could not. But I am putting my money down, say that this is going to be one of those movies that's going to surprise a lot of people and could be the runaway hit of the year. And I'm sure this is definitely going to be the last of Harrison Ford's version of Indiana Jones, because he is getting old. But they're doing a lot of de-aging in this movie too. And from what you've seen in the trailer, it looks actually pretty good. So the rumor is they're going to be doing time travel maybe in this movie. That's why we're flashing back and forth between the past and the present. Who knows? Wow. Or this is a movie about soap, because Dial is a very popular form of soap, and it could just be the soap of destiny.
So stupid.
Yeah, you're welcome. I just wanted to put that in your head.
God damn
it. My number 2 most anticipated movie. Look, she's having a rough year this year. Between Amsterdam and Babylon, Margot Robbie is getting a lot of heat this year. I'm calling it right now. When Barbie comes out, that is going to be a huge surprise hit. That's going to take everyone by surprise. You have Greta Gerwig, who's directing it. We all know she can direct and surprise a lot of people with her movies.
Level, Greta Gerwig, Oscar level, Margot Robbie, Ryan fucking Gosling.
Simu Liu.
This cast is more stacked than I realized.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You have
top leads.
Wow. You have so many people in this movie, and it looks like, just based off of the teaser trailer that we got, they're definitely going dark humor on this one, which is a perfect way to go if you were to do a live action Barbie movie, especially in this generation. So I am so looking forward to how this movie is going to turn out. I could be eating my words and say, wow, this movie is a piece of shit, but I don't think so. I think this is going to be one of those surprise hits of the year. And I'm looking forward to it. So yeah. So those are the two movies right there that I am definitely calling it as the surprise hits. But as we close out this episode, we're so happy to recap all of this stuff and let you know about all the movies that we enjoyed and hated throughout the year, and the movies that we're looking forward to for next year. Let us know which movies that we've mentioned you're looking forward to. Is there something else that we didn't mention that maybe you wanted to include? Let us know. And let us know which movie you are looking forward to hearing us talk about because we're definitely going to be talking about a lot of these movies when they come out. And we are so excited to do so. But as we close out this year
Yes.
in review episode,
Yes.
Blake, where can people find you online?
Honor doing this work with you today, Renee. I can be found on the website of letterboxd.com with the screen name Blake Wolf SSN. That's BLAKE WOLF SSN, where you will see my top 10 movies of the year list on Letterboxd, and also where I gave Clerks 3.5 stars, and where I gave Everything Everywhere All at Once 5 stars immediately. So
Very nice. Very, very nice. I am
and right
making
here soon.
I am making a pledge, and one of my resolutions for 2023 is to be more active on Letterboxd, because I think it is time for me to do so. It's easier for me to keep track of all the movies that I watch throughout the year, instead of me taking the last 2 days of the week to put together a spreadsheet of everything that I've watched and remembering all the stuff that I watched and all that stuff like that. So definitely you could find me also on Letterboxd under LOWKEY GEEK, and on all the social media platforms. You could see the handle right on the screen there, LOWKEY GEEK. Most importantly, on YouTube for the LOWKEY GEEK channel. Again, if you haven't done so already, it'll take you just a quick couple of seconds. Hit that like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time a new episode is uploaded. And again, if you are an audio listener, thank you so much for listening. Podcast version of this episode and many others could be found on your podcast platform of choice. Just type in LOWKEY GEEK and you could find us there, and leave a great rating if it prompts you to. That will really help with growing the channel and growing the community. With that being said, I've been Renee. That's been Blake. This has been our year in review here at Movie Time. Have a happy new year. Let's close out 2022 with a bang and welcome in 2023 with open arms, because nothing can get any worse than it is now, right? But we will enjoy movies regardless. So until next time, stay cool, stay classy, stay sane, stay safe. We'll catch you in the new year. Peace out, everyone.